corrected page for the water sewer facilities.
Yeah.
Where everything's at it, where everything adds up now.
Number in red is correct.
Was missing before.
No, it was calculated. You love spreadsheet. There's always.
And there.
And then I just wanted to ask a question before we go past all of that. On the sewer, did we discuss the contract service license that's new this year? Did we discuss this? Or it's been kind of a stressful week.
Yeah, I don't know that we did, but we have to have certain certifications in order to run a sewer plant. Our staff does not meet that level of qualifications, and so we hired a person to have that license, and it's costs $1,000 a month. That's what that is.
And we are who? Previously?
I don't know the fellow's name, but it's.
I mean, no, who hired, who is we are, we have.
The state.
Okay, and this was discussed before council? Was that-
It was already in the budget, last year and 2 years ago, and
And it's a contract service,
It's a
right?
contract
Not-
service.
But there's nothing on the previous,
I get that because they weren't charging it to the right account.
okay,
They
so
were charging it to the personnel labor account, not a contracted account.
okay, all right. For now.
So just so I'm clear, how long have we been having this contract?
2 years that I know. I think.
Before that,
Before that,
we
Sheldon, well, actually, we did have another guy
That was.
that
he had the
was
certification.
working here and had a certification. But then he left and we didn't have one.
And so for council, doesn't need to come to council before council.
We have to have the certification on the plan, so.
And it's under the city administrator spending, correct?
Oh, much.
Okay. Okay, I just want to check that. Okay, so now tonight we're going to go through general fund, so it should be pretty easy. We'll just go.
Well, but before we do that,
Okay.
Madam Chairman, you have on your thing, June 3, it's what you've done last week and some changes we've made in the proposed budget. So the first one was number one, we moved $2,400 from the general fund to the general fund, government relations, for subsidized low water, which is what Bernard wanted. We took it out of the water system, we transferred it. That's one thing we changed that was by consensus last
So say it again.
moved water, $2,400 to the water fund, for the water fund subsidy,
From the water fund to the general.
excuse me, from the water fund to the general fund. What it says here on the page.
Which page? Okay, sorry.
There's a different page.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. All right, got it.
Okay, that's number one.
Okay,
Number two, we moved $125,000 to the capital reserve from the street contingency to put the contingency down to about 10% and improve the capital reserves in the street fund. That's the street portion of the capital reserve. That's one other thing we did for consensus last week. Sir.
So if, and I support that, but let's say something comes up and we really need an influx of street funds to do a project.
Okay,
Is there a
hold
way we can
Just-
reverse this from the cap?
Just hold on.
Okay.
I'll get. Number three, we moved that $15,000 to capital outlay water meters to 30,000, dropping contingency by 15,000. Again, that was my consensus. And the electric fund, we reduced, or we transferred $60,000 to capital reserve for a new truck. That was also my consensus. There were also little minor changes. When you move $2,400 of materials and services from one fund to another fund, that changes the proportions. And so there's all these little things that resulted from that $2,400 water subsidy that changed the accounts, the administrative accounts by $55. But we have to account for it.
Right.
So that's what number spreadsheet is. Calculations number one is. Number two, we found some rounding errors, we found some formula errors, and we've corrected them in our working document. Now, back to Bernard's thing. In our capital reserve fund, we talked about possibly paving City Hall parking lot out here. And so we moved $1,000, $100,000 from the street reserve to the street capital improvement. So that we're using that money for those kinds of paving projects this year.
Okay.
Okay, that's number one. And number two, we moved $75,000 from the water fund to the capital reserve water fund. Because we want to change, we're paving 3 streets this year. So we're bringing Department of Transportation, city's allotment. But before we pave those streets, we want to do the water pipes under them, replace them to make them all new on those 3 blocks that we're doing. That project is estimated by our engineers at between $230,000 and $250,000. We're going out for bid to that in 2 weeks. So with that $75,000 from the water reserve to the capital reserve water, and we have $500,000 in the water reserve anyway, so we're taking $150,000 of that $500,000, combining it with the $75,000 to get to $225,000 available for the replacing the water pipes and the meters we've already had included to do the water project before we complete the street project, which gets to what your point is, can we use that money, and that's where it's gonna go. Does that make sense?
It does.
That answers your question, go ahead.
Well, that does, but I guess $100,000 you're transferring back from capital reserve for the parking lot. That seems like a lot of money to pay the parking lot.
Well, it is a lot of money. We didn't know the number because we don't know what asphalt is and diesel and all the rest of that stuff. So
So you're over budgeting.
It's moving from one reserve line from the reserve line in capital reserve to the line just above it, which is expenditures for system improvements. The number we got back late this afternoon is it's gonna be about 25 to 30,000 to pave parking lot right next to the building and across the street here. So what we're trying to do is coordinate the paving of the streets. And as long as the paving, the asphalt equipment stuff here in town, let's see what we can do about improving the parking lot out here. We didn't know how much it was gonna be. We moved 100,000, doesn't mean we have to spend it.
Okay, so my last question, because it's not just for future reference. If the budget committee chooses to move money from operations into the capital, as we're doing here, and something happens mid-year, can you reverse partially that capital reserve, pull it back to the operational to meet a needs?
Yes.
Yes, you can. Is that,
It's supplemental budget.
it's not stuck there, right?
Right.
Okay,
Supplemental budget.
that's what, to do that and you get it back.
Right.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand.
That was the question.
Okay. So that. And the other thing I wanted to explain is you've got this thing to the Cascade launch budget committee from Lee. Bernard had a great idea about keeping the money, the extra money, and not making a payment. So if you look at the first one, the USDA RD loan for sewer facilities project, the total loan amount was $3.247 million. If we paid it back, it's 40 years. If we take the money that we have excess, which is $515,000 that we have budgeted for additional payment, and you pay down the principal, that would shorten the life of the loan from 40 years to 30 years, which is what the original thought was the city council. However, if you take that $515,000 and you leave it in the local government investment, and it grows at, right now it's at 4%. So I just assumed a 4% growth for that $515,000. When that accrued interest, additional payment and interest matches what's left to pay on the loan, you get down to a 26 year payback. So you're combining those things, it does 4 years better than what the council wanted. As long as the interest rate is above the loan interest rate, that money will grow. Now, it may fluctuate, it may vary, but what we want to put in the budget is the concept. So that budget committees down the road and councils down the road can say, oh yeah, when supply equals demand, we pay it off and we shorten the whole life of the loan. So that's what that graph is, that the blue line is the original loan. The orange line is if you pay the principal down now, it takes it for a 30-year loan. If the green line is the growth of the compounded interest on the current principal, and where the green line matches the blue line, that's what payoff is.
Colors.
I am so sorry. The
So
top
it's
line
it's
is the
black,
black
gray,
line.
black, gray.
Right, yeah.
That's all right, just re-explain it, see, you can just re-explain it, but which lines we're looking
Okay,
at?
the top line
Okay,
is the original loan.
okay,
The second line, the middle line from the left, is where you pay down the principal now and pay off the loan, and it shortens it 10 years. And the bottom line, which is green on my paper, I'm so sorry.
that's all right.
That's the current level starts at 515, increases 4% a year, which is $30,000 a year, goes up. So that in year 26, the accrued interest line and the loan line coincide, which means you have enough money to pay off the loan
In year 26.
in year 26 from a 40-year loan.
Yeah,
Great idea.
good job, Bernard.
Yeah.
So that's the sewer loan. The second one is the same theory with the water system improvement. And again, I said it verbally, I said it in the spreadsheet, I said it. Think about how to operate the company.
That's all right. We'll forgive you.
40-year loan, 1.5% interest. You've got, $777,000 additional principal now. You pay that down, it takes the 40-year loan to 31. If you accrue the interest on the principal and the interest, that takes it to year 26. Again, top line intersecting the bottom line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well done.
And this money is earmarked to grow. If
Yes.
something happens, is there a chance we'll take the money and use
Yeah,
it for
that was-
something else?
Well,
No,
that's-
it is, you can't do that. It's
Okay.
in the reserve fund and it's,
So if we keep it, we can't spend it.
that's correct.
Right.
Well, until you have the budget that says, now we're paying it off.
Okay.
No, it is reserved specifically for that, in that fund.
So that means, so we don't have to, as council, we don't have to codify it and say that this is the intention and nothing, no. Or,
What we're trying to do is, we're going through and we're labeling the account line item as, what do we call it, reserve?
Reserve.
So it is specifically in there for the reserve. So that gives the clue to the next budget, and the next budget, and the next budget. It's in the budget as a reserve, and that's what the purpose of it is.
Right.
Plus what we have, all this paperwork, you know. Right.
and then also, is there a note that the interest drops below the 4%? What, I mean,
If
how
the
does that?
interest, if the interest drops below the loan rate, the loan interest rate. If it's 4% and your loan interest rate is 1%, you've got nice growth. If it drops to 3%, it's not as nice, but it's still growing. If it drops to 0.5%, then it's going down and you have to look and see what's going on, but what's going on in the future. But it's, as long as the interest rate in the government investment pool is higher than the loan interest rate, you're good for this process.
Yeah.
I can't guarantee it's gonna be 26 years, but I can't guarantee it'll be shorter than the original.
And it would just be budget, at budget committee time, we would assess that, or, you know,
Yeah, every time.
together the budget.
Yeah, every year.
Yeah. And I assume that you'll leave a note to the next city administrator, keeping an eye on its interest level, see what's going on, or the next whoever's in charge of the finances. or-
What I plan to do is give these sheets in color. The last page, yes, we're gonna leave those.
Yeah.
Hopefully they'll see it. understand it. Oh, why didn't you pay off this money? Well, here's why.
Yeah.
And then the last one is the drinking water revolving loan fund. Treatment control. Same process. The total loan was $425,000. This was a combination loan and grant from OBDD. It was $1.1 million for the corrosion control treatment. Half of it, $550,000 was the loan. And half of it, $550,000 was the grant. But they also promised us the opportunity that they would forgive some of the loan money, and they did, which took the loan down to $425,000 instead of $550,000. So that was the first rate. Again, 30-year loan, paid $69,000 for interest paid right now. Top line is the loan life. We pay it down. That's the middle line that goes downward, and it cuts it the 40-year loan, 30-year loan to 26 years. If the interest accrues at 4%, it crosses the loan line at year 22. So it works out in all three loans that we have for capital improvement. And the advantage of all of this is probably the equipment. Whatever we've done, whatever this finance is gonna wear out 30 years. And you won't have to double up like we had with our wastewater refinance. We had to pay for that while we're paying for the new. And you don't charge your citizens double. Bernard had a great idea, it pencils out, to be very, and honors the original intent of the council to pay the loan.
Great job. That was very
Thank you
nice.
for another good job, Bernard.
Thank you for running the numbers.
Yeah.
Thanks for the graphs.
That was,
Like,
well, I'm sorry they're not in color, but it makes it easy to understand.
Yeah.
So now we go to the
General fund,
general fund.
and general fund, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Very easy.
So general fund, page 1. That's the beginning fund balance. The transfer capital reserve, that's for the one more for the 5,000 in property. We are estimating our property tax income of 460,000. Well, office furniture for the council chamber. Sorry, we can't do that. Let's do that.
Oh my goodness. What, new chairs?
Well, it should be a combination of chairs, tables, and sound system.
Oh, nice.
And the port said they would also help with that
We would
too.
be happy to do it.
Yes,
They
yes,
do everything too.
yeah.
Um, it's just about another mistake, so.
Uh-oh.
Transient room tax, that is about the same as what we got, it budgeted for this year. With the price of gas, we anticipate that people in Portland are gonna be willing to travel, but not as far. Great. They'll come out here and they'll have their ice cream. They'll sail, they'll do those kinds of things. We expect a very busy tourist season. Besides, it's the 100-year anniversary of the bridge.
Yeah.
In October, it's Native American month, September. Plus, the construction on I-84 keeps a lot of people in town longer than they want.
Yeah.
So we're looking at that.
A lot of visibility in the trail network, I've been seeing too. A lot of people come out.
Yeah, and the PCT days is coming back. The one trail event canceled because of the debris slide. We got notice last week that ODOT, Oregon Public or Parks and Recreation, and FEMA are working together they think they can get the debris field moved within the next 90 days. So,
Right.
I wouldn't hold my breath, but
Yeah.
Parks and Recs is coordinating that project, so that will help. The intro payments come in at 6%. The rent that we talked a lot about last time comes in 53,000. We don't have the Overlook Park shower at this point. And just other little things. One of these days, I'd like to combine copy machine revenue, fax machine revenue, information services fees all together into one miscellaneous. But, you know, it's $20. And the planning engineering estimate is, it's a placeholder. When we do planning, the applicant pays price, whatever that price is. Last big one,
Okay, I have a question.
is
On the use of city property fees, the actual amount is $52,680. Are we anticipating an increase or? Because we charge 17,560 to 3 different departments, and that's 52,680. I was just, yeah,
we just rounded
I
it.
rounded up, I don't want.
that's kind of a big rundown. That's $320, right?
Well, I think of miscellaneous fees covered.
Yeah, okay, I was just wondering what the,
Don't we rent it to other things?
Yeah, we do the bar mitzvahs,
oh, okay.
Yeah.
things like that. There's
For
other,
the city.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
we do not charge nonprofits, but we do charge private parties.
All right, sorry.
Okay, but it helps clarify.
They're up on page 2.
City hall rental, again, that's the parties kind of thing. Interest income, that's our estimate on, based on the amount to the local government investment pool that's designated for the general fund. State revenue sharing is down $1,000 this year, from 13,000 last year. Yeah, that's what she said.
But we have 600, not only do we have this, we have this, which gives 53,000.
So we discovered it's not as round as bad.
No.
The 52,679 is the general fund for water, sewer line, city light, South Bank.
Right,
We also charge board debt $50 a month,
oh, okay,
so it's $600.
all right,
Based on the
all right.
Thank you, Marianne.
lady has all the answers. And then the general fund 2 is basically the administrative overheads collected. And the total administrative overhead and the revenue plus overhead. $2,089,000. Any questions on that?
No.
Sure.
Okay, so, yeah, a few things. So this seems to be an annual issue, at least for me. And that is the garbage franchise fee being a flat rate of $1,000 instead of percentage of gross revenues, like my understanding is most cities do. And it's my impression that we are dramatically underbilling the revenue potential from that franchise fee by doing a flat fee versus the percentage. So, again, I'm not expecting this to solve it here, but it is my request that, and I've asked this before, that we, on the agenda planner, we have a little workshop on how does our management of the garbage franchise fee compare to other cities? So we can have a conversation on how best to meet our needs, given that potential source of revenue. So that's my first point. The second one is, so on the revenue table, I know you said a lot of things are off, but this is like really off. For the 24-25 actual on internal payments for electric, it shows a negative 135.
That's correct. That tells you how bad the accounting is, and why you can't trust the numbers.
Okay, all right, just checking.
Oh, that's exactly right.
Yeah, all right. Let's see, we talked about that one. Okay, yeah, for TRT, can I ask the city administrator to remind the committee what the legislature just changed the rules on managing of our TRT. And it was my understanding that they're giving more flexibility for cities and counties to not limit to 70%. You actually take more than 70% to meet general fund needs if you choose.
That's not correct.
What is, can you tell us what they did?
Because I asked
What
this,
was the change?
this question too, because Laurel sent it in.
So,
Maybe Laurel can answer.
Previously, we were grandfathered in and we were allowed to take up to 70%.
And we still,
But then statewide, at that time, it was maximum 30. But we were grandfathered in, so we could take 70, and the state just caught up with us. So now everybody can take up to 7% for
for
non,
new taxes.
yes, new taxes.
For new taxes. For the old taxes, like for new, if they put in a new tax, then they can do the new 73.
Yeah.
They also have the option to do 50/50.
Yeah.
Under House Bill 4148. Again, we're grandfathered at 70%. So of all of the transfer revenue tax that comes in, 70% goes to general funds for tourism activities. Meaning, we're gonna have water, sewer, those kinds of things. We're using money, general fund money, and 30% that funds tourism promotion activities. And that's where we are.
Right.
But the new House Bill 4148 actually flips it the other way. You can only take 30% in your general fund, and 70% goes to tourism, to make the tourism, to put more money into tourism.
Okay.
But they also did another transient lodging tax from 1.5% to 2.5%, which is dedicated to
Wildlife,
wildlife preservation.
but it's state, we don't get any of that.
We don't get any of that money. It doesn't include our calculation. And if the prospective, it's initiative petition 28 passes, where you cannot have any hunting or fishing or,
Yeah.
Sorry. But,
I think it's.
All right, thank you. All right, so let's see my next,
And just to sum it up, it's only on new taxes that we add, so it would only work on anything that we already.
Ours is what's 7.5%.
Yeah.
It's 7.5%. If we wanted to raise that 1.5% to get it to 9%, that 1.5% has to be 37, not 7.
okay.
And just so you know, Hood River County is considering an increase. The rumors are they're considering increasing their TLT from what it was before and possibly applying it across the county.
It does not account, they can't put it in the city.
Okay, so I can just squash that rumor right there.
That's correct. That's only in facilities outside of the city, outside our city limits and Hood River.
Okay.
Okay, let's see, I got two more here. I think you answered that one already. Okay, so contract services, well, we're in expenditure. Okay, you wanna wait, go for
Yeah.
expenditure there? Thank you.
So is that in the general fund too?
I have a question. We have no local gas tax?
No,
No, okay,
that's state.
okay, just check.
Administration, page 1. It's the personnel costs, at the top. All of the different insurances and then workers' comp and benefits. And then the expenses start down under expenses, materials and services, office supplies, training, investment. Pretty normal. Any questions on that page? And then page 2, continuation of the testing and computer licenses. Expense accounts. Capital expenses, their office furniture, council chambers, there's your 5,000. The transfer to the fire department, I think went down $5 because of the change in the water. Administrative overhead. Sure.
Okay, this is my other question. So let's see, yeah, contract service audit. if you look back, again, when we just asked our finance, you might remember, it shows actual 23, 24, 27,000, then 24, 25, 22. Is that normal? And we're just, and it's 70 because we're paying catch up? That's my question.
That's correct.
So once we're caught up, this number will go back down to 25-ish.
I would
No,
probably,
annualized.
I think it'll probably go down to
35.
36.
Oh, really? But not 7.
Not 70, 70,
All right.
because we're trying to do, we did 22,
Multiple
23.
lots, exactly.
We got 23,
Thank you.
24.
Yep. That was it.
Anything else for now? Anybody, other questions? And those are new, feel free, I mean, it's not, you're not gonna ask a stupid question, you don't know, I mean, a lot of us have been doing the budget. Please don't feel intimidated to ask a question. Okay, so.
Raise it with
Sorry.
Just a comment, just $5,000, and I'm not saying we need to be wasteful, I think we need to be very conservative with how we spend our money, but just office furniture, I'm pricing one chair, they're not cheap, and I just.
You're absolutely correct. We're not going. You're not getting luxury council.
Conference room chairs, not office chairs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna, every hard seats for everybody. It was a number out of the air, and again, it's gonna try to be half of what it is, because we're gonna build the other half of the port, so we're really looking at 9,000-10,000.
Got it, okay, yeah. So they're, not only they're covering mics and cameras and sound system upgrades potentially for council chambers, but also furniture they're going to help contribute to that as well.
Yes.
We're gonna build.
Yeah.
You betcha. They've been doing it for years.
I think Bernard had his hand up.
So, look, and I trust staff to do this, but just to be clear, it would be my hope that we buy quality, comfortable chairs, but, and if that means this is a 2-year process, we only get some of them and then we get the rest next year, I'm okay sitting on this old chair. Cause I want stuff that lasts, just to be clear, I don't like buying cheap and then it falls apart 2 years later. What have we got for that? I just wanna put my 2 cents, but I trust you'll do that homework before you make this office furniture purchase. That's all I'm saying.
Well, sure.
Let the
Not you,
council-
your predecessor.
let the council seat wars begin.
Yeah.
And maybe you were saying this slightly, but you said we're going to build a port. If we're going to build a port, wouldn't we have the expense be the full expense and we'd have a receivable for?
I
The
don't
revenue?
know how we're gonna do that. It's, they promised to help us pay, so we'd have to.
So they'll pay the vendor and we'll pay the vendor?
No,
We'll figure it out.
we'll pay the vendor and we'll build it.
But then that.
Then we should have an
be shown
expense in
here.
our
Yes.
revenue in the budget.
We'll figure it out. But we don't know yet. We haven't,
Haven't had the discussion.
no, and it may be audio visual this year and furniture next year.
Yeah.
Or maybe furniture this year, audio visual next
I mean, if we're building the port, we would have to have a place to put it. in
Yes, I agree with that, but we don't know if the port is willing to do
year. We
that.
do know,
Well,
but we don't know.
but we don't know the dollar amounts.
Right.
Yeah, until we.
So when that happens, a line item will be created and it will do that. Either that or it goes into miscellaneous revenue.
So would that go into a supplemental?
That,
No.
it doesn't, but I'm right.
That's not
level
enough.
of something.
That's what I'm saying, if we think it's gonna be 10 grand, maybe we should expense 10 grand and have a revenue line item for 5 grand.
You're correct.
If we don't
We
spend
should.
it, yeah.
So let's change that.
Well, because we don't know. We haven't priced anything. We don't.
We don't know.
So, but the council can take care of that when we.
All this is a placeholder right now.
But it's a
don't,
We
placeholder,
don't
we
even
might
know
need
if
to
we'll
change it.
get furniture or anything.
I think Laurel's next.
So my question was, under contract services miscellaneous or, who does the city's website? Who's in charge of maintaining the city's website? Is that an outside contractor or someone on staff?
We do our website through Catalyst. And Kathy monitors that website and adds to that website.
Okay, so she's one who's administering the website
Yes.
and adding to it and
Yes.
stuff. I just wanted, it's a lot for one person to take on, being someone who does two. Right now, that it might be something to consider in the future, hiring a contractor to do. So that it's not on Kathy's plate. It ends up getting done at the last minute. It's really hard coming onto the city's website to find what I'm looking for example. And there's a lot of outdated information. I'm not blaming Kathy, she's really busy. But I'm just thinking that it's something that you might want to consider in the future is hiring someone to do that on a part-time basis. So that it's up to date and it makes you guys look on top of everything.
Bernard,
Okay, so if I'm hearing you right, there's a $5,000 expenditure for, what does it say, office,
Office furniture, council
Office.
chambers.
okay, council chamber. But in theory, the total expenditure could be 5,000, we're gonna bill the port 2,500. Is that what you're telling me?
No, we might spend 5,000, they might spend 5,000.
Okay, so if that's a might, then you should just budget for it, and budget 10.
We
okay, but what if they decide to pay for it on their own and it doesn't even come to the city? We don't know what the arrangement, it hasn't, it's just a fine, it's just an idea right now. We can't, and I understand you want it, I understand you want it a little bit more clean, but I think that just because with all the transition we've had, there hasn't really been that discussion, I don't think.
And the council needs to start directing.
Well, then I'll go, my answer. my
As
question.
Mary Ann said, a budget is a plan. It's an earmark, we could do this. If we don't do it, the expense doesn't happen, the revenue doesn't happen. So if we think it could happen and we're hoping that it happens, we should budget for it correctly. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. And is it difficult to change this line? Is it gonna create a whole bunch of changes to put $10,000, say, or put a revenue line item for $2,500? Or add $2,500 to a revenue line item in case we build a port on half of the expenses? Just, that feels like the proper way to do it in my.
And I agree, the budget is an intention. Do we intend to build a port? I think the answer is absolutely. If you intend on doing that, then our budget will reflect those intentions.
Okay, but
That's what budget does.
But I wanna say that we have done things like this with the port in the past, and they never materialized, and it was.
But there's no harm there.
But it was ugly in the budget, I mean, it was just that, just because they say they're gonna do it, doesn't necessarily mean that they're gonna do it. And I don't know, I kind of,
It really make more sense. Let's find out what the project is, what the extent is, and then we can figure out how to reflect it in the budget. When we know what we're gonna do, right now we don't know anything about what we're
I
doing.
think we're swinging a gnat to swallow the fly right here,
When I look at it, what it seems like to me, Bernard, is that the city's saying we're willing to spend $5,000. That's how much we're willing to spend this year on furniture or whatever we do here. And if the port wants to throw once, like we say, oh, well, with another 5 from the port, we could do more. But for now, the city's saying we're willing to spend $5,000.
And we can't go over in capital outlay, so we cannot spend more than $5,000.
The city can't,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So if it
Does
costs
that make
$10,000, we
sense?
can't expense it then.
Does that make sense? Does that seem?
Okay, we're looking at an $18 million budget.
yeah, we're fighting over $5,000.
So let's go back to the $20 fee.
For that.
Add 2,500 to it. Just kidding.
Bernard, are you done, or?
I'm surprised that our persnickety finance director is okay with this, because this is to me something that I thought would annoy her. It's like we're not following our budget process when we do that, because I think Councilmember Price is correct that if we do this, we're gonna pay one vendor, not split that. We're gonna get the money from the port and pay it. Therefore, it should reflect that budget. I mean, but I'm not ready to.
It's not a crime on the
All right.
Thank you.
All right, so then we're done. Anything else in, at. Get on to planning.
Yeah, planning is placeholders. we bill the applicants for whatever the costs are. But we have a place to put them, we have a place to.
Any questions on that? And go on to agency.
Somebody eliminated the agency fund here a couple years ago. And again, there's a $5,100 credit under miscellaneous expenses. Miscellaneous expenses.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, did you change
The formula is wrong.
the formula was wrong? Another, you didn't tell me about that one. It's okay, okay, it's history, don't worry about it.
Yeah,
So don't worry about it because what is in that line item is not supposed to be there.
Okay.
I just have to talk to the auditors and say, what are we gonna do with this? Because it doesn't belong
just so those who are new understand that until this like falls off the page and all stay in the budget, so that you can just see the history. That's basically what happens. So we'll see it again next year. And then the next year it'll probably fall off. So, okay, property.
Property, labor at the top, expenses and material at the bottom, we're gonna get the carpets clean. We have to get some insurance for the mobile radio equipment, I think they took that for.
there. What?
The insurance,
It's the insurance, but the mobile equipment that public works.
their portion of
Their
it.
portion of the insurance for mobile equipment on,
But we didn't.
like the mower and
I see that. I see it's not on our list, but we didn't go through admin. I'm getting arguments over here that we didn't go through admin last time, so this is not, it's not.
Oh, I.
Yeah. Okay, all right. Were there any questions on that?
We're on property number 1.
Yes. Go ahead, Rudy.
Okay, so. Again, unless the numbers are wrong, we're decreasing utility maintenance worker 1 by $6,000.
No,
Why
we
is
are, it's how they're apportioned across funds, across programs. Okay, the previous administrations lumped it all into property when it should have gone to property, water, so it's utility maintenance 1. And we're going back to historic,
Distribution for allocation.
thing.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't, those numbers don't seem to pencil. It should be much lower than 30 if you're gonna do that, because. I mean, it was 35, the budget for last year was 35 and only went to 30, and we're doing the allocation, that still doesn't seem right.
I have the thing here that proves that the thing that the previous administration did not do a percentage based on what department they're working in. When I talked to Sheldon, we have a percentage. And I don't believe that the previous administration did that. So that more money went to a different fund to help them. That's not the way it works. I have it right here, percentage by. So, I mean, if the percentage is right and the pay is right, then this is right.
Okay, so just for my understanding, so the utility maintenance worker 1 percentage for property is what?
For property,
Like 40%?
it is 34%.
Okay. And the other 66%?
Then it goes 21 for street, 2 for cemetery, 30% for utility worker 1 in water, 3% for meter reading, 3% for meter reading, and 7% in sewer.
Okay, if we went through all those sections of the budget, those are the numbers we would find.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Okay, that's helpful. Thank you.
And I appreciate that, but again, there's nothing the budget committee can do about that.
Yes.
I just want to understand
That's
that.
a
Thank
city
you.
council question, not a budget thing.
Okay, and then my next one was the contract services abatement. So last year, we had a nice chunk of change because we wanted to do some abatement. We dramatically reduced that in this budget year. My question was, did our ordinance enforcement or code enforcement, they say, oh, we don't need 30 grand, we only need 5.
That was.
How do we come up with 5?
That was for the,
Actually, we're trying to remove RVs.
yeah,
you would have to do 30,000. The problem is, nobody will remove an RV because of the liabilities and the things that are personal things that are in those vehicles. If we can't find anybody to do it, why should I budget money to do something that I can't do? This 5,000 is for the little abatement project, and we don't spend a lot on abatement. We encourage people to do the job and do what they need to do, we'll mow the grass, we'll do whatever the abatement process is, but the 30,000 was in there because, oh yeah, we've got this RV, we're gonna make sure we're gonna get it out. Nobody, you can't tow it. I mean, the city could probably tow it and put it in our yard somewhere and store it, but then that liability comes to us and our insurance would just scream. We can't tow trailers, which is what the cost is.
Okay, well, I mean, for what it's worth, last year, there was a rundown RV right behind the gorgeous brewery that we got towed. It had been there forever using these funds. I mean, this is doable. I guess there's exceptions, but I know it was done last year, just to be clear. It has been done, just let the record
Did
be.
the city do it or the?
Yeah,
Or tow company or.
we paid a tow company to get rid of that RV that had been there for God knows how many.
I don't know why they did it.
Well, they did it. And then right now, I mean, there's been a junked out vehicle just west of the Bridge of the Gods forever on that road that goes down alongside the railroad. I sure would like to get rid of stuff like that. I mean, it's an eyesore. It's just, I don't know.
That's not city property.
It's not city property.
Yeah.
It's actually who owns it, who's responsible for it. There's ODOT, there's the Forest Service, there's a railroad. And again, you run into the same liability issue problems.
Cars are easier to tow.
Yes,
This is a car.
Yeah.
there's
Cars are
also the
easier to tow,
road trailer.
but again, it's not on city property.
Kathy must do this.
Oh, Kathy says we can have RVs towed.
Thanks, Kathy. She's like God. up there. She's watching it.
Well,
All right, well, I mean, look. If 5,000 is enough to get rid of cars like that, I would like, then I'm okay with that number, but
Okay.
if we need more, then.
But we're not gonna change, we're not, we're not gonna make major changes, because this is the night we have to get this done. We'll deal with it as it comes up, I guess, when we have to deal with it, but I don't want us thinking that we're gonna be changing a bunch of numbers tonight, because we just don't have the time. And I mean, bring up the concern, we'll note it, and then we can deal with it, but we're not dealing with it tonight by changing numbers.
The second question is just more purely for education than it is for anything I want to change. I'm just curious. I don't know, a couple of years ago, it's like the opposite of abatement. You actually find people that didn't mow their grass.
well, we still do that.
Yeah, where does that, and I guess, but we don't get the money until they sell the property, is that right? You put a
But
lien on
if we
it?
put a lien against the property, that's correct.
But some of those fines are some fairly substantial, if I remember correctly.
We haven't sold property yet,
And so where does that revenue show up, I guess, in the budget? And I guess,
miscellaneous revenue.
I see. And you really have no idea to be able to budget for it, it's,
Yeah, because you don't know what you.
we don't know
when
what you're
gonna
gonna
get
say.
it.
Okay, thank you, that was my question.
Good question.
And that's one double check under holiday lights, 500, that's just for the lights, because
Doubles.
yeah, they were talking about having to replace some of the poles, and that's on a whole different. budget.
No,
That's not-
right, that's right.
Christmas.
Okay, any more questions on property one?
Thank you.
Property two, then? Oh, I guess we did discuss, we only did discuss it a little bit last night. Yeah,
Bernard talked about.
yeah, the
stuff.
85,000, yeah, okay. So maybe we did discuss it already, I apologize. All right, do we have any, okay, we already, okay, museum.
We are no longer affiliated with the museum, this is here for historical purposes. only.
There better not be any questions, I'm not even gonna ask, I'm gonna move on. Government relations.
This is the state department.
Oh, do you have a question on museum?
No, not museum,
Okay,
sorry.
let him explain it first and then I'll.
This,
Government relations funds, it's the $12,000 plus whatever we've added to it. on the state revenue sharing and how it's gonna be used. Travel and training, that's for, more. City council, they don't know, they go where city. Those kinds of conferences. Community programs, it's grant programs, people can come and ask the city for money. The council can figure out what to do with it. Workers' comp premiums, if anything is done, it's $25. Sewer subsidy and the, water subsidy. In there now, right?
Right. It's that.
Yeah, the $2,400 for the water subsidy. And then we pay $1,000 for the reverse 911 contract with the county.
Well,
I brought it up during council process, just as a counselor comment. I would like to see some money budgeted for, tablets or computers for city councilors, so they don't have to use their own personal devices. And I don't know if that's, excuse me, possible to do that at this point in the budget, but I would, just so it's noted, I'd like to see that in the budget. And I don't only appoint a chair, but it's good practice to provide devices for city councilors.
Laura,
So lobbyist, do you guys pay a
We do
lobbyist?
not have a lobbyist.
So, but if there were one, it would be in this
We
budget.
do not have a lobbyist.
Okay.
What I do, the city administrator does her own lobbying.
I think that's fantastic.
we did hire one for the
Last year,
For electric, and it comes out of electric.
Yeah, cause that's for the Ford Creek.
Mhm.
Okay, okay.
So it would
that
be
was
like,
for the-
That depends on what department it's
Okay.
for, that's,
I was
just wondering.
yeah,
Okay,
no,
Okay, Madam Chair, I'm not trying to be difficult or argumentative.
okay, I believe you.
But in each fund, should there be a sufficient contingency, then making a small adjustment. I'm not a big proponent of tablets, just to be clear, but in this example, if this committee has said, hey, we should buy tablets for the council, the estimated cost is, call it $5,000 or $6,000. Then all you do is you say tablet expenditure, whatever, $5,000, and you reduce your contingency by the same amount. And this budget is still, it's whole. There's no other changes that can be made. And just, I want to state that, trust me, I'd love to have a little more money in code enforcement for abatement. But I'm gonna let that one go, but I'm saying for future things, if there is sufficient contingency, then we should be able to deliberate that and make a call on the spot.
Right back. To that comment, if you increase the materials and services, you have to go back and recalculate the administrative overhead. That attaches every fund, but that's the idea. Keep going, the next one's easy.
The next one's easy. Well, were there any more questions on this? That would be wonderful, but this is not the year we can do.
might be able to.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
I'm just an appointed council person.
contract services sheriff, looks like our contract this year is gonna be $163,704. Not really much we can do about that. Because that's what they cost, right? And we pay it.
Is that just related to inflation or are we getting extra coverage?
No, it's the same coverage.
Yeah,
It's just that their prices have gone up.
and have we paid off the missed payments?
As far as I'm
Yes.
aware of, I know nothing about,
We're done
I'm
with
thinking
those.
we already did.
Okay, so Bernard.
That was my question,
Yeah.
so.
Because the information that I received for the budget was that dollar figure. It had nothing to do with any past due amount or anything like that.
We need to confirm that, if
We did pay all the past due back.
the arrears.
Yes,
are-
we did.
Okay, thanks.
Okay,
And so this might be related to the past due, but I noticed 23-24 was only 79,000. Was that because we missed payments or is that what the actual was for that year for the contract? Is that-
Chances are that's not accurate.
Yeah.
I just have to find out where the rest of the money was spent.
It is like, when you look at the numbers there. It looks like a
It
massive
doesn't make
jump, but
sense,
it's-
does it?
No,
No.
thank you.
This is a matter of information. How many hours per month are we getting?
27 hours a week.
27 hours a week. Okay.
It's actually 40 hours.
Coverage.
It's 40 hours a week, but
Yeah.
13 hours transfer back and forth.
Okay.
Staff time for filling, but it's 27 hours, the minimum 27 hours in town.
Dedicated.
Any other questions on that? General, do we need general fund total? No, okay, so then I have SDC fund, which is one.
When property is developed, they pay their way into the systems, called the system development charge. We collect system development charges for parks, water, sewer. So a portion of their building permit goes to their system development charge. We don't know how many houses permits are gonna be issued every year. So we don't project the revenue, it just goes in and the next year we budget it beginning from balance. So that's, and this is money that is reserved for capital outlay only for the systems. Does that make sense? We could spend $53,000 developing a park if we have a park to develop. I don't think we do. $98,000 if we could use the water system development, we could actually use that 98,000, I would think about it, of the water project on the streets, but we've got going out someplace else. Sewer system, generally that stuff, if we have a big water project, this is what we would transfer the 129,000 into whatever that project is. Generally that's planned, any equipment. So total fund, 280,000.
And is there a formula for this? Is there some sort of formula?
It's tracked, but it's no formula, it's just. Okay, so my attack dog here. So
Able assistant.
it just shows you what comes in and what it tracks it. It's a nice little spreadsheet.
If we're not,
I think I asked this last year, but I don't remember the answer, so I apologize. This I did not email you guys, so. But I can't help but look, we have water STCs and sewer STCs. There's no electric STC. Tell me again why that is?
I really can't tell you why, other than I know there's only certain things you can do system development charges for. And I don't know that electric is excluded. I don't know. It's a question no one's ever asked me before.
All right, well, I think, again, I think that's something I would like to research. Because, as you know, when we have more customers on the system, it puts more capital demands on that infrastructure, water, sewer, electric. Why aren't the developers helping us grow the system like everybody else does, right? That's what SDCs are about, so. I don't know.
So my question is, if we can't spend it because we're not doing a park and the sewer, what happens to this money? Does it just sit there and grow?
It sits there.
their graphics interest, basically what it does. So I mean, parks, and these are all kind of these are mandated that we do, okay.
Well, my question would be, I agree with you, I think that there should be one for electric. But is that something that would, by our charter, would that be something we'd have to vote on?
Yes. The great voice in the sky says, electric is excluded from system development.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
That institutional memory can come electronically. Thank you, Kathy.
Yeah, look up to the sky when you say that. I know.
We're all meant to take courses.
My goodness. Thank you,
Well,
Jeff.
just for those of you who are new, Kathy has been here for almost 32 years. She is the institutional memory for this unit.
And more.
And more. Is it, but it's
No.
much more than that,
Yes, yeah.
but somebody's wrong.
All right, no more questions? Okay, going on to grant, that's a couple of more, that's a couple of.
Maybe,
After streets.
Yeah, it's after EM, it's
After
after EM. Two sections, you got tour, you got, streets and EMS, and then grants.
so we have 3 grants that are currently on the books. The small cities grant, which will do the paving of the 3 streets. Wheeler, Venture, and I'm drawing a blank.
Sunset.
Sunset, thank you, the west end of Sunset. The $250,000 grant, is for the transportation system plan, which will be developed over the next 12 months. There's a $56,096 grant to examine our code, relative to the new housing requirements that the legislature. You will see a beginning fund balance of $102,116. We have no idea what that is, where it came from, what it's for. That's part of our ongoing investigation. But it's in the fund.
Mystery money.
Any questions on page 1?
I did have a question, just generally, are you opposed to pursuing one grant?
I am actually in favor of getting more grants. We got grants for the water system, we got grants for the wastewater system. We need a grant to redo City Hall, 3 to 5 million. But we can't go for those kinds of grants because we don't have accurate current audit.
Excellent.
So that's the focus of the council is get our audits up to date so that we can then use that as the foundation for accurate representation to the granting agencies. The monies that we need.
So back to those street projects we're gonna do, and it sounds like we're gonna, once the pavement's up, we're gonna be replacing sections of water line.
We're gonna do the water lines first and then.
Okay. But you can't do the water line before the pavement's gotta come up and then you do the water line.
Yeah, but we're lucky, most of the water lines are just off where the pavement is right now. So it's gonna limit our, disruption of the pavement, city streets.
Okay.
While we're doing it.
All right, so I can't help but wanna ask, well, what about sewer lines?
Sewer lines are generally pretty good, because they're newer.
So those sections
We,
are in.
we had a sewer facilities project, we did a lot of sewer line replacement.
Okay.
Or
And particularly, I'm sorry?
sewer line lining.
Yes, we repaired a lot of the old sewer line.
And we have storm lines as well. Do you count those separately or those are different, right?
Most of those storm lines are on the ODOT property, and they're ODOT storms. They're on ours. We don't have a lot of storm, we drain down to the storm lines on, and that's into the state system.
Okay. I guess the point of the question is like, while this pavement's dug up, any infrastructure that exposed and maybe needs repair or replacement, it's needless to say, we're gonna be doing that. Everything that's not looking good, we're gonna get on it.
That's correct. And anything that is looking good, we're not gonna replace.
Yeah. Thanks.
Great.
Dave, did you have any?
I did not.
Okay, great. Anybody else on page 1, grants? Page 2?
Page 2 is, page 1 is the revenues, page 2 is the expenditures.
Right.
And contingency, 102,000, again,
That's that money.
it's not funny, we don't know what it is.
Mystery.
Mystery fund, you know, but when we find it,
We will find it.
Yeah,
Yeah, we will.
I know we will.
Because it's gotta either be something that shouldn't have been put in as a fund or a grant that should have been returned. If we didn't spend all the money, we're supposed to return that money. Normally, if it's government stuff, they would have called us, but I don't know.
You'll find it.
Any no questions on that? Okay, let's go on to tourism. Section.
The tourism is, belonged by the tourism committee. And they kind of a portion of what they're about, we have a very active tourism committee right now that's working on with Main Street, Cascade blocks, getting a visitor center, open. And this year. The rent for that is down there under the last line, visitor center rent. 3,000. That will be paid. July 1st. July.
And on tourism, page 1, the $12,000 for contract service for Overlook Park, is that to maintain them bathrooms?
Yes, what the tourism committee would like to do is take $1,000 a month and hire somebody to lock the doors,
Yes.
open them, close
And who will clean them?
them. That's part of the contract. We haven't defined it yet.
Okay.
But that's,
I do.
the property has $12,000 in there for supplies. This is $12,000 in there for locking, closing. Opening up.
Bernard?
Okay, wait, so you're saying locking and cleaning or just locking
Locking and cleaning.
and cleaning? Okay.
Yeah, when you go in, you unlock in the morning, clean it.
So just, okay, locking and cleaning, so, and then the city will still unlock it in the morning?
No,
They will do.
Well, locking and unlocking is the, whatever the, if we find somebody that's willing to take $1,000 a month, walk down there and lock the door.
And give it a little clean.
That's gonna be the key, is finding somebody willing to do
Yeah,
that every
because
day.
that's, sometimes it's not pleasant.
And sometimes they're unavailable, so they have to have the ability to have a subcontractor to go down and unlock these, because I'm going on vacation. So that all has to be worked out when we figure out how to do it. But that's the intention of the $12,000, is to help with cleaning the bathrooms. There are other ideas, but we won't mention that right now.
They're down the line.
Yeah.
Figure out it's done.
Any questions on one? Bernard, are you good?
I have one on the expenditures.
Let's go ahead and go into that. Is that 2 or is it? Well, okay, the expenditures are 1.
On two.
Okay, go to that then.
That contingency,
Right, that's my question. So
that's what they chose to do.
I understand, and this is kind of a recurring thing. You have these massive contingencies. So I think as a budget committee member, we're asking ourselves, do they not have enough resources to spend their money? Are they taking too much money in? We should demand that they don't have such a large contingency, do something with the money. This is not, you know, we're working hard to generate revenue to improve our tourism experience, and they're almost a third of their budget is sitting in contingency. I mean, we don't have to fix it now, but I think we also should have a conversation on directing tourism to say, look, you guys need to come up with more ideas so you can be more successful. Part of the way you're successful is you generate revenue and you promote this city. When you're leaving 74,000, you're not promoting the city. I don't know what you're doing, but you're not doing that.
So I'm thinking that, the rental for the facility is kind of like a temporary thing.
Yeah.
I think there's a
It's 1 year.
more permanent solution for that, so that it might be part of that.
Again, not this year, but
Yeah.
it would be available next year if the revenue comes in the way it is for future projects and ideas. But, we don't want them to spend the money just to spend the money. We want them to spend the money wisely,
Always,
always.
always.
And so, just because you got $79,000 in there now, and then you got $80,000 to get on balance. Let's prove revenue first before we go off on. Change your next time. Mary, did you have a comment?
Laura?
So the other thing, Bernard, is that you'll see that rent for the visitor center is way down. So that's been bumped to contingency. And I do know from talking to different members of the tourism committee that there were concerns last year that there was all this money sitting in the account and things weren't being purchased. And so you have a significant rollover from the previous year that went into contingency. And the committee is looking at, as Gordon said, different options for a longer term, more permanent visitor center situation. And they want to have the money to look at that, to maybe hire someone to develop plans or things. And they'd like to have that money available to do that. They are, go ahead.
Well, so I love this thought, but then I go, well, shouldn't this maybe just be a capital transfer? They transfer out some of this to create a capital reserve for a tourism facility.
There is a capital reserve for a tourism facility. It's got $60,000 in it. We just couldn't transfer anybody this year.
Okay, well, to me, that would have been a sensible, if we're flush this year, we're already tapped out with our proposal, then take some of the extra money and add it to your capital reserve to, be ready for when you're ready to do that project.
Which they can do, because now I know this next year, they can do that next year. When they have more, better idea of
What the real numbers are. Anything more on tourism?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, do you know if they're planning to staff that?
Yes, we have a volunteers.
It's by volunteers?
Yes.
Okay, and then the other thing,
So it's a partnership. Main Street, Cascade Lots and the tourism committee to staff that facility. 4 or 5 hours a day, I don't know.
9 to 6.
That's
Daily.
10 to 6? Okay. If you got the time, I guess. I think the other thing that I was gonna note is that as someone who's on the tourism committee previously, the training there for how we could spend that money was not there. Like we didn't, I remember at one point, Heather was trying to purchase benches to spend some of that money on projects, and it took months because we didn't know we were even able to spend it on that.
Correct.
So I would just advocate for like this budget line item here for travel and training. I would say training members of that committee is critical. If there's any money that you can put towards that, I would advocate for it.
Thank you. There are 3 vacancies.
I already did it. Already there.
So you have experience. You've done that. Thank you.
Any more discussion? Bernard, are you?
Happy.
Huh? You're not happy?
I'm happy as I'm gonna
Okay,
be.
oh, you're happy. And then, sewer facility. Project fund, that's the one that Mary Ann just handed out to us, that was a redo because Laurel caught.
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, yes, so. Let's move a ways back, yeah, so it's that new page handed to us somewhere. In here. Okay, so yeah, so it's highlighted in red. Oh, that's right, I didn't get. Okay, guys, it's been a week, okay, so yeah, so the 550. Thousand is a correction,
Yes.
Yes. So that's for that.
Bernard.
Okay, so this is a good template, and I'm understanding this right, based on your analysis on the different debt service funds. Now, each of them is gonna have a line that says reserves, and that's where those additional funds are going to be
Approved.
allocated to, or applied to generating interest, and then, okay. So that's what we're gonna see, a reserve line for each of the funds. Okay, very interesting.
I think that's gonna be an adequate reminder to both the council and whoever the finance director is.
Makes sense to me.
This is what we're doing. Supply equals demand. We have the money supply. And the low demand equal. You're on.
Any more questions? Okay, so capital reserve, it's a couple of, after electric.
So the changes between the proposed budget and the budget that's you're reviewing tonight, we transferred $125,208 from the street fund. Excuse me, beginning fund balance is almost 1.6 million. That's the money that the local government investment pool for the capital reserve items. So we're gonna add another 125,208 to that. Down and transfer from water fund, where we're moving 75,000 in order to use the water projects on the streets. Transfer from local control is at 60,000 to buy a new truck. And that's the revenues. The transfers, which is the revenues into the capital reserve.
What was your first one?
125,208,
Or what?
transfer for street fund, where we drew the contingency down to on the street fund to the 10%, 28,000.
Right.
And we moved the balance to street, and then we're gonna end it.
Any questions on that page? Page two,
Page two, is the system, we moved, the reserve for the street department with the money we put in, we're putting 100,000 in under system vehicle equipment upgrade replacement. That's for the potential paving of City Hall or areas around City Hall. In the street funds, as long as the paving is here for the street repairs. Leaving 153,208 in the reserve for the street department. The rest of that is the transfer to other funds, that's a lot more. 969.42. So. That's page two.
questions, any questions? Okay, Ralph, how you start on this?
No, I'm just thinking of something, it's just a question. If we're talking about paving City Hall parking lot, would that not be property expense? It would be considered a street expense?
We do the streets,
Okay, so there's-
it's just, I don't
Either
know,
or?
it's definitely, well, it's gonna be potentially both sides of the street, and so we're.
and it's used by
It
the
is
public, right?
property, but
But
it
it's
is.
a parking lot, not a street.
It's-
Yeah. So, just,
Well, it's like you park on a street, drive on a parkway.
okay, didn't mean to throw wrench in the gear, but just curious.
No,
Okay.
you got something to say?
I mean, in Gresham, when I worked in Gresham, parking lots, like for City Hall,
Facilities.
was facilities, it was not the street department. But, well,
Facilities, that's-
we're small, I know, that's fine, I get it, but technically, I think that's more accurate. It would be a facility expense.
Okay,
But you could then charge all those fabulous utilities, so just, that's how we roll.
page three.
It's not fresh. Okay. We moved the $75,000 into the water department capital expenditure. From the water department, and then we're moving 150,000 from the reserve up into that. System vehicle equipment replacement to get the 225,000, which will fund the water line replacement under the streets that we're paving.
When this is all done, whoever wants can get a copy of the corrections, right?
Yeah.
For a chart.
Uh-huh.
For a chart.
And it's gonna be two-sided this time.
Is it a box of donuts or a
No.
gallon of ice cream?
Go back into the general fund where it says copies.
You better bump up that revenue line item.
At $20 line item.
Yeah.
Do you guys prefer double-sided?
No, I'm just
Oh.
thinking, like, if you're gonna make that one.
See.
Okay, this is also very true. We're almost down to our last box of paper, so we have.
I read that.
When you get a copy.
But yes, there will be copies available if you so choose to want.
And it'll be available on.
Yeah. Because I refer,
Never would have guessed you wanted.
I refer to it all year long, people call me and ask me questions.
Would you
like,
like
let
to
me-
wait until you get the adopted one?
Well, whatever's the
Yeah,
most accurate.
The adopted one that comes before council on
It's
the.
condensed, isn't it? It's not the line item like we have now.
Yes,
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
it'll be the same thing,
Okay, yeah, no, I can, if that's, yeah.
it'll be the same thing.
No, I want it double.
If you want double sided,
No,
I'll
I
do
don't
it.
want double sided, I want two copy. No. Okay, so we're done with, capital reserves 3?
There really isn't any changes from the reserves that are already there,
Capital reserve 4,
same. Except for the truck is in there,
That's right.
on capital reserve 5.
oh, and 5. Yeah,
Right.
okay. Do you want to go through the totals all funds, or is that? No?
Well, it all balances.
Well, according to your numbers, I really don't have, but that's okay.
The fuzzy numbers in this year's budget balance.
Yes, thank you, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Mary Ann, for all your work on this and tolerating our little changes.
So it's kind of a budget question, kind of an audit question. I'm just curious, it's more of a question for you, Mary Ann. Imagine when majority of the work for the budget is prior to us sitting down and doing this. I mean, we've got little tweaks and adjustments and things, but does that mean that you've been able to start working on the audit?
I have been working on the audit until the budget came up. Then the audit's off to the side. When this gets done tomorrow and I get it in the paper, then I'll go back to the audits. I've already talked to the auditors about it and they are familiar with what I'm doing, so we're good.
I just imagine like if I was you, it's gotta be huge relief to have.
Yeah. This is, because this is a major one, and normally you would work on the budget before May or April. You would work on it in
Yeah.
January, February to start the process, but I didn't have that opportunity.
Well, and again, this budget was complicated from the fact that we couldn't trust any of the numbers that were in the
Yeah.
book. And so basically, Mary Ann has had to go back for the last 3 years and look at every transaction, where did it come from, where was it supposed to go, and where did it go, and moving it to the correct place. So imagine doing 3 years, because the bank hadn't been reconciled since September of 1993. or
Yeah.
May.
2020.
So it's been a tremendous effort by Mary Ann to go through and do this, and every day we find little things that, for example, now CFO, which should have figured out how to do governmental accounting, created a holding account when they didn't know what to do with it, and they just threw money in, and we don't know where it goes. So we've had to reconcile all those things. There were errors made. The money going from the local government investment pool, money going from the US bank to the investment pool when it should have been going the other way to fund our thing. So Mary Ann is to be applauded for the work that she has done to straighten out the books as much as she can. But until the audits are complete and all of the adjustments required by the audits are complete, you cannot fully trust these numbers. There is, right now, quite frankly, they're all an educated guess. But they're as close to reality as we can get without having the audits done. So kudos to Mary Ann.
Thank you, Mary Ann.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, so, given that you had to pause your audit work to get through the budget, and we're there now, we had a timeline that we thought we'd get caught up for we had 2 more audits to get through so we can get current. Given what you know, do you still feel comfortable with that timeline?
I would hope so. I think I can get the information to the auditors, as well as the auditors have time right now. They know what my position is. They've taken their staff and are trying to move them to help finish our audit. That's all I know. So it all depends on how long it takes me to get this information to.
Okay,
I hope to, but it might be first week or second week in July, I don't know.
I mean, the target's June 30.
Yes, I am still trying to get the target.
Yeah, and then September 30 for the next one.
Exactly.
And December 30. Knowing we will do the best we can, it will be dependent upon the auditors. But I think the auditors also appreciate the situation we're in. And they really appreciate working with Mary Ann.
Right.
Because they're getting the information, they're as accurately responding to the thing. And so they are more comfortable working with us. Plus they have a basis 22, 23 that can carry through and give them the things to look at that are going to carry over. And we know they're going to carry over, and they know they're carrying over. So it's very possible that we will be caught up to date by the end of the year.
Okay, well, that continues to be my goal and hope. And I've said it multiple times, if you feel like, gosh, there's so much work here, I need help to meet a end of the calendar year timeline to get current. All you need to say, I need help, council, and you have my support to get extra staffing, whatever you need. Help for Alana, I'm not sure what.
Alana is helping me.
I know she is, but maybe Alana needs some help, so she can help you even more, you see what I'm saying? That's what we did often, we got in a bind on something, you know, in previous work environments, so.
They might well come
Basically like I did.
And then my last comment, is kind of just a general comment to say, I worry about, as someone who spent 20 years in city and county management, I always worry about trust in government, okay? I'll go to my grave saying, if you have trust between the governing body and the staff and the people, the sky's the limit. You can do anything your community wants you to do. But if you don't have trust, then all bets are off. And everyone should be nitpicking you on why are you spending the money? Why did you do that? And it's very challenging to get anything done as a collective. And that's what we're here for, is to move things forward as a collective. And I hope this committee, you've seen every dollar we're spending, and you will be ambassador to say, if someone says that darn Cascade Lodge, they're wasting our money, it's like, hey, I said it in the whole budget meeting. I can show you every dollar we spent and push back and say, we're not wasting your money, guys. We've got hardworking staff trying to spend every dollar appropriately, and please send that message out to your fellow citizens should you have this conversation. So we can, I would argue, build trust. We've already got a good amount of trust, but let's grow it so we can be more successful as a group and move the things forward we want to do as a community. That's what it takes.
But you got anything to say? I'm gonna go around.
No, I'm happy with this, especially after being on council when all this had started up.
Great. Tom?
Well, my years of being in the city and council, all that stuff, I've seen lots of battles, lots of really tough times. This year was, I just feel this, the whole group, the council, the group we have here is all thinking, they're all thinking in the best interest of the citizens. So I appreciate being on, on this committee. I think it's, and I think we're heading in the right direction. But just know that things can turn on you real quick though too, but. They can turn quick, because it was going with, yeah, I feel really good about it. Council and the committee, we got here. Lots of good questions, lots of, things were, obviously people were looking at that, that's all you can have, people do their homework, and people did their homework, appreciate that.
Nate?
Yeah, I'll just say I know how much work goes into this, and I know the limited capacity, the limited bandwidth that you have when you have a staff this small. So I appreciate it as a resident, and I also appreciate it as somebody who works in municipal government and knows what goes into this work. So thank you to the staff and volunteers.
Pete?
Bernard brought up trust, and it's
I appreciate the transparency around the numbers and where there was vagueness and fuzziness. But one of the other observations I had was when we had questions about specifics and numbers, I see Mary Ann pull out a piece of paper and hand it over to Gordon, and it's like, you can't argue with the math, and, you know, there's a rationale and, you know, that goes behind it, that makes it make sense. It's not just random numbers, there's a reason behind it. So I just wanted to, again, express gratitude to Mary Ann. I can't tell you how many times we talked about grants, you know, over the last two meetings we've had. And the answer is always the same, we can't get grants until we get our audits current. And then now this timeline of, we really should be working on the budget next year in February, March, April. Well, that's why we gotta have the audit done by the end of the year, right? And so these things kind of snowball and lead to each other. And Mary Ann's the reason why we got our last audit done and why we're potentially gonna be able to get current this calendar year. So we're fortunate to have you. Thank you. And I don't know that everybody realizes this, but you know, Mary Ann was on council and she worked hard to get elected and then voluntarily stepped down so that she could go back and assist the city where we needed her. And it just, I think it's a testament to just, you know, Mary Ann's willingness to do whatever the city needs because she cares about this place. So we're very, very fortunate to have you. Thank you for all your hard work on this. And welcome. Excited to see you be able to put this in the rearview mirror and then keep us moving forward on the audit. And I'm with Bernard, whatever we can do as council to support you and Lana, we're here for you.
It's
So
a lane.
that's what I thought. I was like,
I wasn't trying to derail. Very.
Well, and for being the first time here, it's been interesting and challenging.
That's a lot.
And especially with fuzzy numbers. I'll be glad to be here next year too.
Corey, first time again, it's been interesting and I look forward to next year too.
Sure. Kind of echoing what Nate and Bernard said, really appreciate the position you guys are in with the books and the condition that they were, and I know it's hard work. And also, you know, oh gosh, what was his name? Alan, right? Yeah, Alan, Sheldon, John, all the work they put into the budget process too, to get where we are today. I really appreciate it. And, yeah.
This is my second time being on a committee, and I just have to say, I am always so impressed by the number of people who are willing to give up their evenings to come out and work toward trying to, you know, get through this so the city can move forward. I love coming out and seeing that everyone is so interested and so committed to doing the best they possibly can for the city. I really appreciate that Sheldon, all these who came, took time out of their day to come and talk to us and tell us what they were doing. And I think we should be proud of our neighbors. I agree with Bernard. We have great neighbors here and earning their trust and deserving their trust. That's what this process is about. I especially want to thank Tiffany for keeping us all together and getting those meetings going and moving as quickly as they do. To Mary Ann for all the hard work I know that she's done and will continue to do. And for Gordon for also being there and shepherding us through all the questions that we have. And thank you, everyone.
Brendan. I just want to give thanks to Mary Ann and Gordon for being willing to step up to the plate whenever our financials were a complete disaster, to not saying it mildly. I also want to point out to everybody and anybody that's listening that if you notice in the budget that there's no money for your council. So we are all volunteers. We all volunteer our time. So when things aren't right and your mayor is spending 40+ hours a week up here and being accused of micromanaging and all of that, because I was previous to you guys coming, it's because our numbers weren't good. Things weren't right. I don't know what it was because I'm not in the system to be able to know that, but I knew something wasn't right and we needed to do something about it. So I am grateful that we have the council that we currently have that is willing to own up to it and make sure we get financials, because that's important that we get financials, that we went like almost 3 years without any financials is reckless of the council. And that we didn't know what was being spent, money was being spent on, and that's being truthful and transparent. And that's one thing that I campaigned on, is to be truthful and transparent. And for public safety, and to get the McCord Creek Bridge loan paid off, which we did this time. We got that, hired a lobbyist and got that loan paid off. Otherwise, that was gonna be over $52,000 a year out of the citizens' pocket. And we've got that taken care of, this council did. So, you know, we've worked really hard to get things done. We've gotten the 3 streets that we're gonna do, that $250,000 grant to redo these streets. You know, and I'm excited for our audits to get done, so we can get money for our electric department to underground stuff, and that we can get the city hall done and stuff. So moving forward, and I will always be transparent and honest. Sometimes, people don't like it, or it seems a little harsh, but I will always be transparent and honest. So if you need to know something, anybody can ask me, and I'm always willing to step up to the plate. Kathy, if she was here, she would tell you, she said that, she's been through a lot of mayors, as you know, in 31 years, she's been through a lot. And she's never had a mayor that stepped up to the plate and was a working mayor. I've been up here stuffing envelopes. I'll do whatever it takes to help this staff along through whatever challenges we have. And I continue to do that. And I really appreciate everybody on the committee and any committee that we have in town, because it's a volunteer thing. And that we care enough about our community to step up to the plate. That means a lot to me. And thank you guys and all of the council. And Mary Ann, thank you. Because, you know, I don't know what we'd do without you. You know, we'd be in a big hurt. I don't think we would have got a budget done. So I really appreciate it. And Gordon, again, thank you. That's it.
Okay, so before I say my thank yous and stuff, I handed out a piece of paper from the City of Rainier's budget. And this is always something that's been near and dear to my heart. I know I asked Gordon about it this year, but since we were so tight on time, it just wasn't a possibility. And I'd like to get a consensus that next year the budget would reflect these things. Because it would just be really nice to be able to see what vendors we use, and what one, and how much we pay for the vendors. It would just be nice to have all that in one place, as well as, you know, where we get, where we get franchise money from. And do we have tower leases? Do we have anything like that? Do we have tower leases? Tower leases.
Still no.
Yeah. No.
I thought we had some.
No, we did the electrics.
The electric revenue.
So I would just like to get a consensus that if this would be something that the budget committee would like to see next year in the budget. Is that,
I would. Would this be more of a budget process, or like from
Just-
in the financials?
it would just be in the budget message somewhere, that's, you know, that's all I'd like to see it included, just so. I mean, the budget message this year was not very much, just because I think we had time. Usually we have graphs that show where the money goes, and we have, you know, we have different things that show different things. And I would like this to be included in that next year when we have more time to be able to use those things.
I think it's a great idea, just as a grants writer. The other thing I would like to add is if we could sort of asterisk anyone who's a local vendor versus someone who's outside from Portland. That can be really strong. It's also really good for our community to know that we're trying to keep our money local. But I think it's a great idea.
So I like the idea of this vendor list. I do think that to a certain extent, the budget does cover franchise agreements. We don't have many because we own most of our utilities. We've got a couple. You can see they have a lot more in here because they don't have electric, and we don't have gas here, and they have water as well. So none of those would apply to us, but I feel like that's covered, but the vendor thing is not. I don't know. I mean, at first blush for our finance director, does this look like a lot of work, or how do you react to this?
Our vendors are on a list, but what I would do is do the general ledger and see what vendors we paid, and that's what I would do. Not
Not total.
Not
vendors.
total vendors, just vendors that we used
The
during that
last,
year.
last,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I don't
That
think
wouldn't be that hard.
that would be that
They
difficult, cause
Excel could spit that out pretty easy.
that lady right there would probably be the one to help me do that, because she pays the bills. So she would know what vendors we use.
Right.
It just, to me, I think it would just be good to see, because we have contractor for the copy machine, we have contractors for, IT services, we have, I mean, it would just be really nice, because to me, those are kind of like faux employees, they're people that don't work here, but they do work for us, and it would be nice to see all in one area how much help we get to support our staff.
Like I said, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to check in with staff to
Contractors,
see.
yeah. Yeah.
What this.
Well, and vendors, they also do vendors, they don't say how much they are, but you know, yeah. Contract, well, they call them vendors, we call them.
Well, vendors are all of your accounts payables, and contract services would be like staff, right? Or services that
So,
would be for vendor.
so can I get, what,
We may be able to do something by the time the budget is presented to the.
and I don't wanna take time away from audits, that's not, it's not.
Now, the budget's done, I can be doing
Your Bernard said like this.
I like that.
I hear it, I already see you, only have to say it, that would be just.
Bubble should be just flashing red.
It's right there, it's flashing, I see it, but, so, consensus, yeah?
I'm okay.
Okay, all right, thank you. And I just wanna say thank you, I know, I equate this budget this year, it's like cleaning, I don't know if any of you picked berries when you were a kid, and you had to go and clean, because you had to go in and pick after people who didn't do a very good job of picking, and it's twice as much work for half as much pay, and the scratch would go along with it, because for me, it was always raspberries. And I feel like Mariana's just been gleaning, it's been twice as much work and half as much results, and it just, I mean, what a tremendous accomplishment to be able to have a budget, even if some of the numbers are fuzzy, to have a budget in front of us that we can bicker over, at least bicker over, you know, have bicker over and have questions about, and see the issues that we didn't get to see before because they were cloaked. We never really got to see them, and so this year I really appreciate that the budget's nice and cleaned up. I appreciate Gordon being available. Any questions? Yeah, I mean, he's right there, ready to answer the questions, and I really appreciate that. And I appreciate Alana stepping up into learning how to navigate all of this and be here tonight and do this, because she has a family. She's a young mom. She does this sort of thing. But and I thank you all. I appreciate all of you guys for wanting to do this, because I love the budget. I don't know why. I'm a weirdo. I love the budget. I love seeing the numbers. I love seeing how the city works. Marianne, I've been a thorn in Marianne's side for many years, but you know, it's fascinating to me. It's fascinating to me to see how everything works and where everything goes, and you know, how we make it work as a city. And I just appreciate that. And it doesn't happen without volunteers, and I really appreciate that. So that all being said, I will entertain a motion to.
Comment.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Do you want to?
No, it's just, it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
You have to
Do
ask.
you have anything you want to say, Marianne?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm going to do that too. Okay, I apologize. Okay, so I need somebody to.
I move to approve fiscal year budget 2026-27, the amount of 17 million.
Okay.
Nope, hold it.
Well,
With all the changes.
With all the changes,
The
yes.
amount is 18,117,000.
Okay, 18 million.
288,117,288.
I move to approve fiscal year 2026-27 budget in the amount of $18,117,288, including all of the changes we discussed as a team.
Second. Okay, so it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I think I kind of got it all in the way, but is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes. And we're not closing the meeting in case there's a drastic change we have to make. Okay. It just seems weird. We've never closed any meetings ever. So the meeting from when I started, however many years ago, is still open.
We're gonna go back and change that.
Oh,
budget
would you?
because you got too much money on that.
Okay.
Thank you, Tiffany.
Thank you all.
And Marianne.
Marion, can we leave these and when we get a corrected one, get it, so you have
Your binder?
cause I'm, yeah,
If
you don't,
that's what you want, then I
Yeah,
just need that.
yeah, I'll leave it, so,
I would suggest that the council's gonna get
Yeah.
the budget to adopt.
yeah.
And if the budget committee members wait until we get to that final one, so we don't print this
Yeah.
60-page document.
Yeah,
Don't print one for me. I don't know why you were this
First
one
on the
either.
list.
I'll tell you why we did that.
Okay. You're on
Our city reporter, Kathy, is not here, so we are trying to do it for her.
We are now not only interim.
Yeah, they've taken on another role.
yeah.
With
So-
Kathy looking over our shoulder.
So Gary made the copies, and we know you don't want them, but we all made the copies, so.
We're all learning.
The one-hand exception,
Start a
right?
fire or something.
All right, we're gonna